ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to round 3 of the IFM PS4 F1 League here at Canada, here at Montreal in Canada. I'm your commentator, Ash Dawson, and joining me in the commentary box is our new guest commentator for the rest of this season. It's Simon Marshall. Simon, are you excited to be with us?
I'm extremely excited to be with us here today, especially considering we have a wet qualifying session. It'll be interesting to see what the weather is like in the race. Of course, Canada is an extremely difficult circuit as it is. The walls are always just inches away from that white line, and I'll be looking forward to see if the Wall of Champions claims any victims here today.
Absolutely, just like we saw in the real world of F1 back in 1999. Well, I think even Michael Schumacher was one of the victims of the Wall of Champions there. But not just in 99, there's been many victims of the Wall of Champions over the years, including Sebastian Vettel was one of those. And here in the wet in Canada, it's certainly one of those races where in the wet, it's even more difficult with the walls close by, like we saw in seasons such as 2011, for example. Our race winners for this season so far, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't seen them, a season opener in America, Circuit of the Americas, was Zerai 2-4 in the Mercedes-AMG Petronas, and in Brazil last week, also in the west end of the world, was the defending champion in the Red Bull racing car. It's Vic Mill, and out on track now. Zerai and Vic Mill not actually out on track, they're still in the pits, although looking at the tyre graphic on my screen, I don't know if anyone else will be aware. Of course, you're watching it from my view, so you would see it. Everyone is labelled with intermediate tyres. Are there some right tyres though for this? I would think so, because we've got some very clever drivers in this league with plenty of experience, and despite that, most of them are very young drivers with good experience and can take on almost any esports F1 driver from around the world. The majority of our drivers are from Central Europe, as we are now in qualifying, of course. They're hoping to put on their best performance in the wet. We've not had much wet racing action from this season, not really much in Brazil at all. In fact, not any in Brazil really. But then in America it was a wet qualifying 3. Which did twist it a bit, although it was already twisted earlier on by the favourites going to the race. Not doing as well as we thought so, judging by what we saw in the pre-season test races. The pre-season test races also took place here in Canada. There were two 25% races with short qualifying. Both of them were won by the same driver, and that is the man on your screen now, GT Fan 04 in the Force India. GT Fan, a rookie for this season, and doing quite well so far. He has so far finished in 6th and 2nd in this season. Last time out in Brazil, had that great racing battle on track and through the pits with Vic Mill. It was amazing to watch, although it was a bit of an anticlimax when Vic Mill started to pull away at the end. So, can GT Fan do it again? Simon, what do you think?
Well, I've raced against both Vic Mill and GT Fan before in the past, and they're both very quick drivers. GT Fan, I would say, he may argue with this, but I would say he's a little bit slower on pace. However, he is extremely consistent and incredible with his tyre wear, which, as you know, in a race which can certainly have changeable conditions, like we can have here at Gilles, Villeneuve in Canada, it can come into play an awful lot, especially during the latter stages of the race, where consistency and tyre wear really do pay off in the end. So I think we're going to be in for a good one here in Montreal.
Well, the tyre wear, wow, just as I was talking there, GT Fan, as you saw on your screen there, was just going almost into the World Champions area. He did touch it a bit, and well, his lap time appears to be invalidated. It was 1:21, which of course would be the fastest time if it was valid, but it's not. Your fastest man on track is the Renault driver of Speedy 2000, and Speedy's teammate for this weekend is not the American Selangville. We've got one of the reserves taking place. It's Jean-Eric X, who I can't bring up on screen as he's in the pits, as well as Vic Mill and Pro Owners. But yep, Speedy 2000's teammate is Jean-Eric, and from what I know about Jean-Eric, let me just bring up the information I have on him. Jean-Eric, there's got no information on him, but I believe he has got plenty of experience in league racing. It's why the Renault team have hired him. And Speedy there going fastest with a 1:21.7, improving on his fastest time. So in the wet at the moment it is Speedy 2000s heading the field and almost 4/10 of a second faster than Renfara in the Haas. He's just crossed the line now, 1:20.1. Behind him Pascal, the young German, 1:22.2. System Prior, one of the, you could say, title contenders finish, just heading into the pits now. He's in 4th place in the Ferrari with a 1:22.5. Behind him is FC Bayern Fan 301, 1:22.6. Then Schnixel in the other Ferrari in 6th place, 1:22.8. Then we go to the 1:23s with Weber on a 1:23.1. Although now, just setting a lap, we've got a Spike in 7th in the other Force India. He's done a 1:22.8. GT Fan has still not set a lap and he's gone into the pits. So yeah, he's gonna have to set a lap soon enough if he's gonna get through to Q2.
Well, I would certainly expect GT Fan to definitely get into Q2. I think around the 1:24 mark should be enough to get within Q2, I would imagine. I can't really see the top 10 going out on another lap, but the session, of course, still may dry up as we don't have the information for the weather with us in the commentary box. So really anything could happen in the next 11 minutes, and I don't think we should write anybody off at the moment.
No, of course not. I mean, you say that, but we've still got 6 drivers yet to set a lap. Milan Klaus in the Toro Rosso is currently on a lap, although it's not one of the best ones. Jean-Eric is just coming round to start a lap. Will he avoid the Wall of Champions here? I hope so. He's going very slow through that chicane. Don't blame him. And then on the power as soon as he can. Yep, he exits that one well. Vic Mill is also on an out lap, but I'll take you on board now with a lap around Montreal, the circuit to Gilles Villeneuve, named after the great driver from Canada. So Jean-Eric there into turn 1, sliding out a bit, now going round turn 2, just keeps the car nice and tidy, very nicely balanced. You need a good eye down full setup here, especially in the wet, which I'm sure they've done, unless they gambled on a dry race and may have left their setup in the dry mode apart from the tyres. But they're still sliding there a bit. Is Jean-Eric through turns 3 and 4, and sliding again now on the way to turn 6. Is he going to slide to track like Vettel did on the last lap in 2011? Not quite. I mean, that was awful embarrassment for Sebastian Vettel, considering he'd led every lap of that race until that lap. Hopefully no driver does that here, although I guess it would be entertaining. But anyway, now coming up to turn 8, one of my favourite chicanes on the calendar, but you best try not to cut it because you will cut your lap time. There he goes through turns 8 and 9, still sliding the car a bit, is Jean-Eric, but the time isn't too bad. And now that it's very wet, just coming up here to the hairpin. In fact, he's almost locked up. I believe he may have ABS on that car, don't blame him. Did he clip? I think he may have just clipped the wall there slightly, exiting the hairpin, but he got enough power to coming out of it. And now coming down the back straight, the final straight before the pit straight, going as fast as he can right now, almost 200 miles an hour here in the wet, but you've got to brake nice and early here for the final chicane in 4th gear now. I would have took that in 3rd, but he did very, very well there, Jean-Eric, not to run into the Wall of Champions or join the Wall of Champions, but he crosses the line now in 5th place with a 1:22.0. Simon, I don't know if you could see that, but what do you think of that lap anyway?
Well, it wasn't the tidiest of laps, I've got to say. He did make a couple of mistakes, still, I would say, yes, a few tenths within that lap. However, a 1:22 in P5, I would say, is probably going to be safely into Q2. But as he hits the wall there, actually, going in on his in-lap, so I think he's probably running a setup with view towards the race, towards a dry race, I would assume, because he doesn't look fully in control of that Renault at the moment.
No, he certainly doesn't. It was, again, I agree, it wasn't the best lap I saw, but your fastest man on track right now is the Rai 24, the winner of the US Grand Prix, with a 1:21.4. Now that is an impressive lap, and behind him, just behind, less than a tenth of a second behind him actually, is Vic Mill. Less than 200ths of a second behind, I should even say. It was a very close battle, but now Renfara has gone fastest, with a 1:21.3. That's 4/10 of a second. Sorry, no, not 4/10. That was 4/10 of a second faster than his personal best. But his time compared to the rest, see, I'm good at poetry here, Simon. His time compared to the rest, it's a 1 minute. It's a 1:21.1. So we got to the 1:21.1s, and that is just nearly 1.5 tenths faster than Renfara. In fact, no, it's not. It's GT Fan's lap there. This is very confusing me now. There's all the fastest laps coming in. So, with the faster laps coming in, Simon, is it drying up now?
Well, as you can see, it's still raining. However, the longer the cars are on track, of course, the more the water will disperse from the racing line, and you may see the line actually drying up. So I think it is absolutely crucial, especially if you are in the bottom, say 12, to get a lap in within the last couple of minutes of the session while the track is at its fastest. Otherwise, you will probably miss out on the next session. So we're coming up to the crucial crossover point within the weather here, I would say.
Yeah, we certainly are indeed. It is GT Fan, yeah, who set the fastest lap with a 1:21.1. Yep, just 1.5 tenths faster than Renfarer, who's ahead of Sarai and Vickmill. So Sarai and Vickmill currently 3rd and 4th behind Renfarer and GT Fan. And interestingly, both Renfarer and GT Fan, no, Renfarer's not a rookie, sorry, I got mixed up with names. Renfarer was 6th last year with 96 points. And GT Fan, yep, he is a rookie, of course, from Germany in the Force India. Both of these still teenagers, like most of our drivers. But certainly very exciting ones. As actually GT Fan has improved again with a 1:20.7, so we're into the 120s now, Simon. I think GT Fan's setting it up just like it was in the pre-season test races. Although, in case you haven't seen the pre-season test races, ladies and gentlemen, that are available on my YouTube channel, Demon Ash 40, if you want to watch those. GT Fan won both those races in the dry, so not only is he good here in the dry, he's proved it in the wet as well. And Vettel Fan in the other has slotted into 2nd place as well, just behind. And he's not quite made it to the 1:20s, but a 1:21.0 is close enough for 2nd place.
It's interesting to me how GT Fan is actually still out improving on his lap times, maybe getting a bit of wet weather practice in. Maybe he hasn't actually practiced in the wet. I don't know about yourself, but I usually run most of my practices during the dry. And
yes,
as the track begins to dry out, it will of course get faster. So I am surprised. And as I say that, he is coming into the pits now. I think he will have another run at it, but maybe a psychological marker to Vickmill, saying that he can get below 1:21, he can go even quicker. So maybe just putting on a bit of pressure into the Polish driver there.
Yes, and GT Fan and Vettel Fan, not only do they both have the name Fan in their name, they are also rookies for this season. I can now say those lines. Yep, your two fastest drivers in this session so far, GT Fan and Vettel Fan, are both rookies for this season of IFM. So, I mean, we'll certainly have to see throughout the season as it goes on, can they mount a title challenge to Vickmill, who in the Red Bull is trying to defend his championship. For GT Fan and Vettel Fan, they are currently in 4th and 5th in the championship. GT Fan on 26 points, Vettel Fan on 25, and Vickmill is leading this championship currently with 43 points, having finished 2nd and then 1st in Brazil.
It's interesting to see the entire top 6 still in the garage there, so it looks like they would appear to believe that they are safe. However, I would certainly be looking to go out within the next 2 minutes, I would say, on another lap just to make sure, because it really is unpredictable during wet qualifying, because the track can suddenly dry up extremely quickly. And when that does happen, we will begin to see lap times tumbling. So no one is safe here, I would say.
Say no one is safe, yeah. Fair enough then. The track, the rain, it is still falling, but not as heavy as it was. It's a little bit lighter now, and yet there are still plenty of cars out on track. Most of them are. If we look now, we saw 9 drivers out on the track at the moment. Is it 9? No, 8 drivers. I think it is. 9
Getting
drivers.
to see a lot of drivers. Sorry to interrupt. Beginning to see a lot of drivers sliding in turn 1 and 2, and after the World Champions, it seems like conditions are actually beginning to get a little bit trickier on the intermediates, it would seem. Noticed Hardy Edge and Dracula Hunter both struggling quite a bit to actually keep the car straight when they plant the throttle. It's quite surprising how no one has retired yet, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing very well not to retire, but Dracula Hunter and Hardy Edge, them two, are in the danger zone of dropping out. Well, Dracula Hunter is not in the drop zone at the moment, it's the bottom 4, Hardy, Fozzie, Epic Scorpion and Pro Owners. Epic Scorpion wasn't in Brazil last time, so he missed a race. Don't know why, but he wasn't available. But yeah, Dracula Hunter is one place above the drop zone. Hardy Edge is in the drop zone, and he's only got a few minutes to try and get out of there. And he's on the lap right now, just coming down the back straight, coming towards the chicane now. Is he going to lock up? Is he going to go off? No, he didn't lock up, and he's not. Oh, he nearly hits the wall. Oh no, he's gone. He's off.
Front wing.
Yeah, he's lost the left end plate.
Then that'll be the lap over.
Yeah, that's that lap over, and of course, well, he's going to lose downforce for another lap, so that's all wasted. And I think that's Hardy Edge out of this session. Yes, it is. Just look at the way he's driving now. That's Hardy Edge out of this for sure. He's going. Very unlucky.
It is unfortunate, but that just shows how tricky these conditions actually are, and especially in a track such as this where the walls, it's practically a street circuit with the walls being extremely close.
Right,
they are not.
It is actually a street circuit there. This, the public of Montreal are allowed, around this circuit, when there's no racing event going on, because as some of you may know, the long straight stretch of water, river alongside this man-made island here used to be used for the rowing and sometimes canoeing as well in the Olympics. I think it was held in Montreal. I'm not quite sure what year that was, but yeah, when the Olympics was held in Montreal, Canada, or anywhere in Canada for that matter, the rowing and kayaking sprints were taking place on that lake just beside this racetrack.
Beginning to see a lot more drivers sliding around, as I'm sure the pressure is mounting on those within the bottom 10, because really no one within the bottom 10 is safe, and you can see that they are just on the ragged edge at the moment, sliding everywhere. But of course, with the nature of the circuit, if you push too hard, that could be it. That could be your car destroyed, your lap over, and starting in the bottom 16.
Absolutely, and we've got drivers making final runs. I think Hardy Edge now, his wing seems to be repaired, so I think he managed to make a pit stop and get that wing changed and come back out, because he's on a lap right now. And
there is a big crash.
Oh, Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear's lost his wheel.
Just trying to work out where that is on track. Can't quite tell. Is it just before turn 6?
Turn 4, I believe. It's very difficult to tell where that actually is.
Oh yeah, because then there's the stand in there, which there isn't. It says, well, is there at turn 6? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. We'll have to find out if we can in some way.
Well, this goes to show a driver within the drop zone giving it absolutely everything and just pushing the car slightly too hard and just getting it wrong. And you get it wrong here, that's it. You're in the wall, and it's session over for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's Fozzie Bear definitely out, and Pro Owners as well. He didn't even set a lap in that session for some reason. Epic Scorpion, he's on his final run, and he is actually proving his personal best. Hardy Edge just crossed the line, and he's out. He misses out by half a tenth on his personal best. Sorry, half a second on his personal best, just about. And therefore he will not be making it out the drop zone. And Dracula Hunter, for the moment, is safe. Or is he? Epic Scorpion now down the final straight, and now into the chicane. Final chicane, does he hit the wall? No, he doesn't. He does that very tightly now. Just stick to the inside there, but like you are, Epic Scorpion. Now is he going to cross the line and escape? No, he's not. 1:23.5. He does improve on his personal best, but it is not enough. He stays in 18th place, and he is out as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, your dropouts for Q1 are Hardy Edge, Fozzie Bear, Epic Scorpion, and Pro Owners. What a great Q1. Join us shortly then for Q2. The generic, yep, on his debut is in 10th place. I don't know if it's his debut of all, it might be, but he's certainly debut for this season. He's in 10th place in the first session. Looking impressive so far, isn't he, is generic, don't you think, Simon?
Well, it's certainly an impressive debut to put it on in the top 6 on your first session.
Top 10.
Finishing top 10, sorry, top 6, I don't know where that came from, but in the top 10 on your debut, you know, when you come in onto a debut into any league, you've of course got more nerves than what you would normally have. It's important just to settle yourself into a rhythm, not be fazed by the drivers around you, and just race your own race. And it seems like he is definitely capable of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly does seem capable, although we've just got to be careful not to mislead. He may put on a good performance in this one, and if he gets a chance to do any more races this season, he may not be so good. I mean, in my very first race in a league, it was 25%. 25% race launch qualifying. I qualified 6th in that league, and I finished the race in 4th place, and I was actually leading for all the first half of that race actually. But then of course I had to pit. Drivers behind me didn't pit when the safety car came out, and those beat me, and I just missed out on the podium after having a short battle for 3rd at the end, which I lost sadly. But yeah, so and that was my very first league race actually. So my very first league race went very well. Don't know, Sean Eric, if this is his first ever league race, it could be, or just could be for IFM. We don't know. I've not seen it before. Of course, Simon, you haven't, but still.
I haven't seen it before either.
Yeah, we are in actually Q2 now, where drivers are quickly getting out on track now to set a lap. Very busy track indeed. We've got the 2 Force Indias out as well, and I think the 2 Renaults as well. Are they? Let's just see. Where's the other one? Speedy out there? No, Speedy's not. Speedy's in the pits, but yep, Jan Eric is out on track. Yep, 2 Force Indias. Our Spike and GT fan are there too. Vettel fan in the Haas is out on track as well. He's about to start a lap. Who else? We've got Dracula Hunter in the Sauber out there. Pascal in the Red Bull, C-Stern, and is Schwitzky out on track yet? Yeah, Schwitzky is as well. C-Stern and Schwitzky both out on track in the Ferraris. Redfire in the other Haas is out on track. Webber's out on track in the Mercedes. Sorry, not Mercedes, Williams. My apologies. So yeah, it's a busy track now already. And Spike, I think, is on track as well, yes. Oh yeah, I was mentioning him earlier, my apologies. But yeah, it's all to play for here in Q2. Don't know what's going to happen now, do we?
Well, this is crunch time for the top 10 drivers who you would consider to be, you know, title contenders for race winners, of course. If you cannot get out of Q2, it's extremely challenging to actually win a race, and before you know it, the championship may actually start to run away from you. So nobody is safe, especially with the fair few debutants we've got in the league this year. It's much more competitive, and it's honestly, it's a wide open championship at the moment with it being round 3, but if you drop points in a chaotic race, which Canada usually is in my experience, a very chaotic race, it could come back to haunt you in later rounds of the championship. So, but while they don't have to risk everything here in round 3, I mean, they really need to get into the top 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, the top 10 entitles you to the fight for pole position, which we'll see afterwards. But currently setting the pace now in qualifying 2 is Vettel fan 05 with 1:21.3, but now about to cross the line is GT fan, who was the fastest in the last session. What's he going to do? A 1:21.1, so not quite as fast as his lap from Q1, but it's certainly enough to be fastest for now out of the 4 who have set a lap so far here in qualifying 2. Next cross line will be Pascal in the Red Bull. He goes 4th with a 1:22.8, pushing Dracula Hunter down to 5th. And Dracula Hunter, I think, he only just made it through in the last session. I think he's going to have to pull something mega spectacular out the bag in this session if he's going to have any chance to fight for pole position and be in contention for the race win.
Well, just as you were talking about Dracula Hunter there, I saw him drifting the car quite a lot through the finals.
So did I.
The second to last chicane, and if you get that wrong, you overcorrect the car, you could end up hitting your rear right on the wall there, having done that myself a few times. And that could have been all over for him, because I don't think a 1:23.7 will be good enough for the top 10.
No, absolutely not, unless Dracula does prefer the dry tyres. So the dry weather at this track, which you may well do. I mean, I made a comeback from wet to dry at this track in another league. I was right at the back because I disconnected just at the start of the race. I went from 17th to 10th, so I did very well in that one. That was a 50% race. So yeah, changeable conditions always here in Canada, but for the moment it's staying wet race, as Vettel fan is now the fastest man on track. In fact, no, it's not GT fan, he's just responded. Tit for tat here between GT fan and Vettel fan. Then it may be tit for tat of who picks the name fan, but still, the lap times 1:28, 1:20.8 for Vettel fan, but 1:20.7 for GT fan. And GT fan's time here is just 0.054 seconds slower than his fastest lap from the last session. Although we had a yellow flag briefly there in Sector 3, but it has gone now. I don't know what the reason was for that. I think now it is no matter anyway.
Judging by these lap times, I think we're going to have one hell of a fight for the pole next session.
What, between GT
Vic Mill,
and
of course, and Vic Mill, the Speedy, I would believe. Both of them still remain within the garage right now, not wanting to go out there and set a time, which is interesting because if you leave it to the last couple of minutes and you're only going to do 1 or 2 runs, if you make a mistake, then that's it. You literally cannot recover. So
yeah, that's why
it looks like they're choosing not to make a banker lap, which is quite interesting. Shows a lot of confidence on their part, I would say.
Oh, for sure, yeah, and that's why you see many times in the real world of F1 and other league races, if you watch any, that when it's a wet qualifying session, you know, of course most leagues just do short qualifying, but we did a full one, but you see in short qualifying sessions, you know, most drivers head out right at the start and at the same time, desperate to get their laps in and give themselves time to make up for any mistakes they could possibly make. But GC fan and Vettel fan, not really making any mistakes at the moment. They're both sat in the pits as well after doing their laps, so they're just going to sit and watch what happens. We've got a yellow flag now in Sector 2. We've got a Toro Rosso off there, and that's a Toro Rosso of Milan Klaus. Yeah, he made a mistake at turn 6, the famous Vettel off the track corner, which Button took advantage of to take the win after being plumb last twice in that race and almost lapped as well. And that race just showed, here in Canada, that race just shows you must never give up in Formula 1 or any league racing, or in fact, well, don't ever give up on anything that you're in the middle of doing, because it's not over until it's definitely over. And for all you know, a surprise could happen and you could end up going from last to first back from the brink. And I've seen it happen in league races. But could it happen here? Could Proaenus, despite not setting a lap in Q1, do the same here? Whoa, as Milan Klaus, as he's weaving now on the back straight, touched the wall slightly just on the right hand side of him. Unless it was a bit of lag, but I don't think it was. We saw it. What do you think? But yeah, Milan Klaus is about to start a new lap. We're going to see how this one goes. Not many drivers are out on track at the moment. Most of them are heading to the pits, so we can take a look at this one from Milan Klaus. Simon, if you watch it with us, you can just take us through it if you want, as he just slides there through turn 2.
Well, I would say here, this turn 3 and 4 is going up to right now, it's very easy to cut. You want to keep the car stable as it goes downhill, as he did not keep the car stable there, but he did correct it nicely, so he shouldn't have lost too much time there. This is also quite a difficult exit on this corner. It's quite easy to spin the rear wheels, as it appears like he got a little bit loose there, but he seems like he's managed it okay as we come down towards the penultimate chicane. It's also very slippery, these curves here in these conditions, so you kind of want to be very careful on exit, as he also slides out a little bit there, the wall very, very close. He seems like he's got away with it. Now he comes to the hairpin, very easy to lock up around here. You need to really plant the throttle as early as you possibly can to get a good exit and run off down the back straight, as that is incredibly important. No DRS here, of course, within the wet weather. But it's looking like an okay time so far. I don't think he's going to be challenging the top 5, but he should be good as he comes up to the World Champion. He's got to avoid the curbs there on the inside, loosen the back again. Maybe he's running a little bit higher ballast than the others. But he's coming to the line now. He will set a 1:21.9, which will put him into 7th. So a very decent lap there. A little bit scruffy, but it's made him safe for now.
Certainly has made him safe for now, and well, I don't think he may have just about enough fuel to go for another run, as he has got Sauber in its way on track, but we'll cut away from that as we've got Renfara now about to cross the line. Is he going to go fastest man? No, he's not. He's just shy of that. He is indeed. He's actually 8/2 off his personal best time there. So, yep, quite a way off the sorry, not pole position, really, Q2. But yeah, he's got some time to make up, as Vic Mill, the defending champion, is now starting a lap. We saw Milan Klaus there in the junior team, the junior Red Bull team, Toro Rosso doing a lap. So now got Vic Mill on one, and I think it's important here for Vic Mill to just say third. Yeah, he's currently third, 1:21.0, as he sliding the car there almost into the wall there on the way to turn 6, but he managed to keep that going. I think sliding there was pretty quick, huge rallying style and drifting that you often see on a wet track. Yep, we see car makers with their road cars that have rear wheel drive test sometimes their drifting skills on the skid pan and also purposely wet it. But that's not what we're supposed to be doing here, Victor, as I'm sure he may know from in there. He's got qualifying to do, he's got a job to do, he's got to deliver for the Red Bull team. And yeah, even though he's setting his personal best times here, I don't know if he's going to have enough fuel to get back to the pits, but we'll see. Will he choose to finish this lap, or will he choose to abort it? Because I mean, 1:21.0 should be safe, don't you think, Simon? If right now.
Absolutely. Even if the track begins to dry up rapidly within the next 2 or 3 minutes, I still think he will be safe.
Yeah, he's pitting now, so still got 4 minutes to go.
A good lap there.
Yeah, good.
Now the clock is running down. It's where, if you are in the bottom 7, I would say, when you start to get sweat, you start to get a little bit nervous because these drivers are not safe.
No, not at all. I mean, we've got Spike now in the Force India, just gone out of the pits on an outlappers. Oh, Dracula Hunter's off. He's out. He's gone straight on at turn 8, the penultimate chicane there, as we call it, just about the bridge. So I don't know what he's done there. Did he have some sort of braking issue maybe? Or just slide off? I don't know what happened, but he's now reversing onto the track. What's he doing like that?
That is
very dangerous
not
driving.
safe at all.
He's reversing it there into an escape place, but not allowed to do that. I think if our director Schnixel sees that, which he's going to, because I'm going to be showing that to him. It's not impressive, is it, Simon? And look what he's doing now. I think he should just retire the car, because he's definitely not going to be making it through. Well, in fact, yeah, he has retired, but I don't know what's going on. Yeah, there you go.
Well, he had the entire runoff area to 180 the car, just spin the car around, and instead he decided to reverse onto the track when 2 cars looked to be on a flying lap, and he just parked it on the apex, which, even if the car is ghosted, I mean, it could easily put off the 2 drivers who were coming through there, because if you're coming through at 140 miles per hour into a chicane and then you see a car parked there on the apex, I don't know about you, but that would scare me, and that would probably make me miss a braking point, miss a turning point, or, you know, even maybe go straight on into the wall. So I think he will probably be reprimanded for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, it's I don't mean to be offensive when I say this, but it's a bit like what Billy Munger may have seen. You know, when he had his tragic accident at Donington Park. I mean, I'm not going to be, explaining what the accident happened, but of course, a car just appears from nowhere, and well, you crash into it. Of course, it's one a distraction because that one wasn't a ghost, but of course it's caused a very serious injury, didn't it? But what can happen on this game, of course, not quite serious injury, but serious distraction, and you could end your lap because of it. You may end up crashing. So yeah, but I know what happened in that Formula 4 race. Driver, I can't remember his name. I think it's Pasma. He was called Patrick Pasma. I don't know. But yeah, his car was just sat in the middle of the track, couldn't do anything, and then before you know it, someone couldn't see him.
Seems like the entire bottom 6 now are out on the lap, so they do also see that they are not safe here, as the track seems to be getting a little bit faster. You have Milan Klaus there in 10th, Sviki only 2/200ths of a second behind. He will definitely be a candidate to get into the top 10, I would say, as Weber is going to come across the line now, and he improves, but it's only to P11 with a 121.914, 1,000ths behind P10, so he's going to have another lap here. I mean, if you miss out on the top 10 by 1,000ths of a second, that's got to be frustrating, hasn't it, Ash?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen drivers miss out on pole position by 1,000ths of a second in a league race. I mean, the 2 drivers involved in that weren't entirely fighting for the championship, and it was still amazing to see. But yeah, for this, definitely not great, especially if the driver ahead of you by 1,000th in this session goes on to take a much higher position in the qualifying 3, say in the top 5, then yeah, I'm sure Weber, I'll call him Weber now, not Weber, because you're right, it's a Central European name, it would be Weber. My apologies everyone for the last 4 races doing that, of course the 2 season openers and then the pre-season tests as well, which I believe Weber did. Yeah, but that's what I'll call him now, but yeah, if Weber was the one to be 1,000th second in front, I believe he'll be thinking that he can do better than just 10th. in qualifying 3. But as we are now ending this session, we've got drivers just either coming into the pits or finishing their laps. Out on the lap now, though, is Milan Klos again in the Toro Rosso. Max fuel mix, he's going for this. He has got a car just in front of him there down the road. Can't work back up which one it is. It's one of the Ferraris, and it's the Ferrari of I think is it C-Stern or yeah, C-Stern. Ferrari C-Stern's just up the road. Is C-Stern on the lap too? Yes, he is. C-Stern, he's on the lap as well. So we'll take a look at C-Stern then as he starts to come up down the back straight with Milan Klos right behind him. Both Ferrari powered engines, these ones, Scuderia Ferrari team and a Scuderia Toro Rosso team. Of course, well, Toro Rosso are Ferrari powered now. They are with Honda for the real world of F1, and Honda, they may say they're the power of dreams, but they certainly weren't in Australia when Pierre Gasly had that engine failure. XD chap. But anyway, Seaston now comes up to cross the line, and he goes 4th fastest with 1:21.0, and Milan Klos goes 8th fastest with 1:21.4. So yeah, both these drivers now in the top 10. Well, they already were, but yeah, they are securely safe now, and that's the end, ladies and gentlemen, of Q2. So we've got the fight for pole position of GT Fan, Vettel Fan, Speedy 2000, Seaston Pryor, Vic Mill in 5th, Ren Farah, Zarai, Milan Klos, who we just saw, and Spiker, and followed by Jan-Eric, who's 10th once again in the qualifying session. So out of those 10 drivers, Simon, who's your favourite for pole position? For me, it's got to be GT Fan, considering he has been the fastest man in both sessions so far.
Well, he certainly laid down a statement here of intent that he really wants these points, but personally, I think I can't look past Vic Mill. He is the reigning champion. He does have a lot of pace, and I think that he will just edge GT Fan to that pole.
GT Fan, Vettel Fan, Speedy 2000, Season Pryor, Vic Mill, Ren Farah, Zeta follow, Milan Klos, Spiker and Jan-Eric. They're your top 10 in Q2, and they're your 10 drivers to fight for pole position in Q3. Join us then. And it's going to be very interesting as it's still pouring with rain here in qualifying. But is it going to get dry? I don't think it will, looking at the weather.
No, that looks like very heavy rain to me.
Yeah, could even be full wet tyres here. Although on my screen it is saying intermediates. Of course on your screen as well, ladies and gentlemen watching back home, wherever you are. And while we're on the subject of Billy Wonga earlier, it is worth mentioning because he's made an amazing achievement despite losing both his legs in that, you know, awful crash at Donington Park. He's been testing Formula 3 cars with Carlin Racing for the British Formula 3 Championship. And well, it'll have already happened by the time this video is up, this race is up, but he'll have done the first round of the British Formula 3 Championship at Alton Park, and it's an amazing achievement, isn't it, Simon?
Well, it is incredible, especially for the age of the lad as well. It really shows how dangerous this sport that we all love, how it's still, it's much more safe now than what it was a few years ago. Freak accidents and catastrophes can still happen, but it shows amazing character for him to be able to bounce back from that, and not only bounce back but actually carry on racing and enter Formula 3 as well. It's nothing short of remarkable, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been to see the nurses, you know, since you know, getting back walking again, who treated him during his accident. He's been to see them all again, giving them, you know, big hugs, smiles, cards, and all that, saying thank you. And I'm sure he'll go and see them again after this weekend in Alton Park. That would be absolutely fantastic. But now we are here in qualifying 3. It's the fight for pole position here in IFM. GT Fan and Vettel Fan, we'd say, are your favourites. Vettel Fan now is starting a lap. Simon, do you want to go through this one?
Well, it's just going to come off the very difficult turn 2 here. It's quite hard to actually get the traction right, as you are pretty much full lock for, I'd say, about half of the corner when it comes down here. Very tricky corner, very easy to cut with the camber change and everything. But he's managed that nicely. You want to hit the curb on the inside there, stay tight to the wall. Can be quite a difficult braking zone here in the wet. The car can get rather unstable depending on the ballast that you are running. But he's looking very tidy here. He can definitely put it on provisional pole with this lap so far as we come down now to the next chicane. Again, another heavy braking zone. It looked like he may have been very close to cutting the corner there, but he got away with it and comes steaming now towards the hairpins, the site of the very famous Rob Kibitz crash all those years ago, which thankfully left unscathed. His power's out of the hairpin now. Just got him run down towards the chicane. No DRS here, of course, as we go past the Pirelli sign. But it's very important here to compose yourself and remember to miss the huge sausage curves that he is going up to now. You want to just clip it a little bit, keep the car as stable as possible. Do not hit the wall at all. If you hit the wall, that's it, your session is over. He comes across the line now. Of course, it is provisional pole with the 120.6. That is an incredibly fast lap. Especially for a first lap, what is essentially a banker, that is actually a really, really strong time. That may stand.
And I will actually say that is faster than any of the laps that GT Fan has set so far here in qualifying. The GT Fan now coming up across the line. Is he going to go fastest? Oh no, it's not valid. It's not valid, just like his first lap in Q1 wasn't valid. So right now, everyone, Vettel Fan 05 is your man on provisional pole position. Unless that wasn't our lap from GT Fan, which I don't think it was. And yeah, Vettel Fan's time over 1 minute 20.673. That is the fastest time we've seen in all of qualifying so far here in Canada. So, has he just, Vettel Fan, pulled it out at exactly the right time?
Well, I think he has. I can't see another driver being able to beat that time. Potentially I'm wrong, as the track may get quicker as the session goes on, but that is a hell of a statement right there. The first lap of the session, and what a lap it was.
Yeah, indeed, and it's almost half a second quicker than the defending champion Vic Mill. You thought Vic Mill may just nick pole position. Well, he's going to have to improve quite a lot then, isn't he, Simon, to steal that?
Well, if anyone can pull it out the bag, it's definitely the champion.
Oh yeah, Vic Mill, yeah. And GT Fan, he can do it too.
This is where the character of champions does begin to show. You know, Michael Schumacher, of course, was famous for pulling that last lap out of the bag and snatching poles from the likes of Alonso, Montoya over the years. I definitely think Vic Mill has a pole lap in
GT Fan is just GT Fan's just done a 120.3, but that also wasn't valid. That also was not valid.
It shows just how much he's pushing the car there. Of course,
Yeah,
it's extremely fine margins from what is a cut and what isn't a cut. Unfortunately, it's 2 laps in a row where he's just got it slightly wrong, but he does have plenty of time to rectify this. Maybe 2 or 3 more laps if he's.
I think he's going in the pits this lap. Well, he's 2 seconds slow in the first sector, and he's going to stand the fuel flow here. So he'll be going in the pits now at the end of this lap. So yeah, that was not one. But on a lap now is System Prior is not. He hasn't set a lap, so I think he's putting the wrong amount of fuel. Spiker, however, in the other force in there, he's nearly a second off Vettel Fan's pace. And Spiker here, will he be going for another lap? No, he's not. He's going to be pitting as well. Unless he's just waving to get into those tyres, we'll see. No, he's pitting as well. We've got a Williams just going to start a lap. I think no, it's a Mercedes. Sorry, it's Sarai. Sarai is 6th fastest, but still a second off Vettel Fan. And Speedy 2000 has actually got up into 2nd place. So you were right to think he was in the run for pole position here, Simon, because he is. He's only 2.5 tenths off Vettel Fan. So Speedy hasn't got too much time to improve, but it's certainly going to be tough anyway. Big ask.
Well, when you hit the 120s within a wet session, 3 tenths is actually extremely difficult to find. When you think you might have nailed what you believe to be an absolutely perfect lap, and you still may not hit that 120.6. So I think it's going to be extremely close if anyone can beat it. But personally, I think that will be pole position.
Yeah. And Jean-Eric, by the way, he's set a lap in this session so far, 121.8. I think all Jean-Eric's wanting to do is just finish this race and get some good points for Renault, don't you think? In place of Selangville, because we know how good Selangville is. Although, well, he hasn't exactly been
with getting through to Q3, he's certainly sure that he can hang with the best here in IFM within the top 10. It's not it's not an easy league to compete in, and to make a debut and get to P3 and be in P8 at the moment is very impressive from a debutant.
Jean-Eric, though, so far as he's just hit the wall in the exit and a hairpin, he was improving on his personal best by over 0.6 of a second, so he was going to be, you know, going up the order, possibly up in the top 3 here, or top 5. But now I don't know if he's going to be doing that, but he is. I believe he will finish the lap. We'll just see what he does now. Is he going to take the chicane? Yes, he is, because although he did tap the wall slightly, it wasn't exactly the biggest of impacts. But now coming up to the line, Jean-Eric in the Renault. What's he going to make? It's a 1:21.0, and yet he's in the top 3. Brilliant lap there by the Renault driver, and what a time to pull out your personal best in the top 10. Fight for pole position here. Amazing lap there from Jean-Eric.
Well, that's definitely a statement that he may actually be in contention for a top 6 quite easily here. It's a very strong lap, although he's fighting that car through every single corner. He's amazing car control right now, because he's literally inches away from disaster pretty much every corner he's taken at the moment. So well done to him there for P3 with a 1:21.095. I think he maybe lost a couple of tenths in that lap as well. I think he may even be a little disappointed and think that he could have gone faster, and maybe even pushed Vettel fan for that pole.
Yeah, certainly is. As a GT fan, he's now on an outlap, as most other drivers are now. Yeah, so this is GT fan's last chance to really go for it here in qualifying. You know, I know, absolutely amazing.
Well, if he invalidates 1 or 2 more laps, he may be starting from 10th here, so it's really the most important thing for him is to get a time actually on the sheets at the moment.
Yes, indeed. I guess just any time, because you don't want to be in 10th place. Seen how good he is, and he just doesn't want to bottle it. I think really, yes, just go for it. Although he just set another lap. No, he didn't. That was his out lap. Sorry, the timing screen's getting me very confused. Now, GT fan, he's on his lap. Take us through this one, Simon, if you can.
Well, it's been extremely tidy so far. He hits every single apex, he hits the 2 there. It's very difficult exits traction zone here. He can get it on and slide and tap the wall there on the left hand side, but he managed it absolutely perfectly. Coming up to the chicane now, it's very easy to cut this, and he looked like he may have drifted over the white line there, but I don't think he gained, so I don't think he will actually get cut. So maybe he's just looking for a banker here, because he does have time after this 4-0 lap if he's got enough fuel in the car. So far, I don't think he's going to be getting pole position, because it has been a little conservative, but he will definitely get a time on the board, and I think we'll get into the top 7, I would assume. But as we come now down towards the final chicane, the dreaded wall of champions on the right, very dangerous curves here, as you know, but smooth as you like, literally no problem there at all. And he just comes up to the line.
He's on
actually took pole.
1:20.1. What a lap from GT Fan 04. That is absolutely fantastic there from the Force India rookie. Oh my goodness me. And Vettel fan also got a personal best on that lap, and Renfire slots in second with a 1:20.5, but nothing and no one so far has got anywhere near GT Fan. What an amazing lap. I just almost lost for words now, Simon. That is completely shock.
Absolutely incredible. That is incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
I think the reason why I thought he wasn't going to get a pole with that lap was because I saw that he could have gained maybe another 2 or 3 tenths in that lap, so I didn't really see that he was still 1:20.1. I mean, that is just incredible.
Yeah, but look at this, he's actually getting better. He's just now 3 tenths up in the middle sector on this lap. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to get into the 1:19s here? I believe we will do, unless he makes a mistake at the final chicane. But GT Fan is a more exciting rookie than Lewis Hamilton, I'd say, in 2007. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of abuse from some of our viewers, but I really don't care. That's my opinion. Oh, as he just taps the wall slightly there, coming out the wall of champions. But I think, no, he's still going to improve. And yes, he is. He's got a 1:19. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. It's invalid. But it was a 1:19.6. It was a 1:19.6. But yes, he's still on provisional poles. Vettel Fan, though, look at him. He's just got very close with 1:20.2. So brilliant driving from both GT Fan and Vettel Fan. Vettel fan thought he had it in the bag earlier in this session with that 120.6, but no, GT fan absolutely splattered that lap with a 120.1, and Vettel fan, he saw that he was improving during that whole lap, but it just about wasn't enough, and so far, you should say he's on pole. Vic Mill is on a personal best here. Will it be enough? I don't think it will be though. He's coming up to the line now, is Vic Mill, and no, it's not enough. He stays in third place. Seaston Pryor now coming up to the line. He's done quite well so far, but no, he's purposely crashed as well at the end of his lap. Well, I apologise for getting too excited at the end of this session with GT fan going to the 119s, but no, that was invalid. But I think, to be honest, he really doesn't care, because he's on pole position, ladies and gentlemen. Your top 10 starting the Canadian Grand Prix are GT fan, Vettel fan, Vic Miller, defending champion, is third. Of course, we saw GT fan win the 2 pre-season test races here 4 weeks ago. Ren Farah is in 4th place. Zarai is in 5th place. Seastern is 6th. Speedy is 7th. Janorik is 8th on his debut. What can he do from there? Milan Klaus is 9th. And Spike is 10th. What a great battle there for pole position that was. And it's only 1.4 seconds between GT fan and Spiker. The 2 Force Indians there from first and 10th place. We're certainly going to see a lot, aren't we, in Q3? Join us then.